Hello. Today I will be teaching you guys how to use the 90 stereo synth bass on Logic Pro. To begin with, we're going to start off from the left and go all the way to the right and down to the left, and then again to the right. To start off, we have two oscillators here. We have one oscillator right here in the shape of the square. Then we have another one right here in the shape of a triangle. And lastly, another in a saw shape. Here, this will dictate how you want your synthesizer to sound. For instance, the square. Let me turn up the volume a little. And now the triangle. As you can hear, the triangle kind of blocks out more of the higher notes in the synthesizer. And then here, it sounds very distorted and very jagged, rough. And then here we have our second shape as well. And then for here, let's move it down. Right here is our mix. Our mix is going to decide if we want oscillator number one, which is this one up here, and oscillator number two to be harmonized together, or if we want only one or the other. So here it sounds as though more of the lower frequencies are being cut out. And same thing as the first oscillator up here, more of the higher notes are being cut out. And the same thing as the first one, the square has a mixture of everything, but as its shape, you can hear it moving up, and then it's sustaining it, down, sustained, and then back up. Okay, so we can have like a good mix. So let's that sounds about right. And now onto our filter. Here, there are many different types of filters. The LP up here stands for low pass. And the lower these numbers are right here after the LP dictates on how harsh it's going to be when we're cutting out more of the higher notes in our synthesis. So let's start off with this one. All right, now we move on to the lowest one. And a little bit more of the higher notes are being heard. And if we go to 6, more can be heard. But as you can see right here, we can change where the cutoff is and where we want it. The more we move it over here, the more higher notes are not being cut off. But if we move it more over to the left, it sounds very muted because all the higher notes are being cut off. The same can be applied over here with our high pass filters, except it's the opposite way. More of the higher notes are being heard rather than the lower notes. So if we move it more this way, less of the higher notes are being, less of the lower notes are being heard. More higher notes are being heard. And the same applies, the higher this is, the more harsh it's going to be in removing the lower notes for these. But I like to go with this one right here. as it sounds very smooth, and just very mellow altogether. Next, we're going to go to our low filter oscillator. This is a different kind of oscillator found in a synth, I believe in almost every synth. As down here, as you can see, we have one right here. And this can change, well, in a sense, the tempo at which our synthesis is going at. As you can hear, it sounds just very relaxed, mellow. But if we move it up, let me turn up the volume a little. It gives it a sort of effect onto our synthesis. Sort of like an echo. And this can also change. And of course, the more you move it over, the more high notes are going to be heard. But personally, I do believe I like this one the most. All right, now we go on to our attack, decay, our sustain, and our release for our filter. Here, our attack, if we move it closer to here, you can hear the sound immediately. We move it more, and it takes it a while for it to, you know, fully be heard. If we sustain our note, the longer that note is going to be held out. And for our release, after we were to release that key, after we were to release this note here, it will continue to go, for 10 seconds as seen here. And our decay, for our decay right here, oh wait, sorry, this was our decay. It depends on how long we want the sound to fade away. So we put it up. It'll take longer for it to fade away slowly. But if we keep it at here, immediately it goes away. Now here, this is our sustain. And the sustain holds out the note. And here we additionally also have effects that can be heard with our synthesis. And that is all that this 90s stereo synthesis bass has to offer on Logic Pro. Feel free to tweak around with whatever you want with this with the synthesis. It's very simple, very easy to use for beginners. And yeah, that is it that I have to offer. Good luck.